This video is best viewed in higher definition. To enable, click the Settings button at the bottom of the page, just here. Then click the drop-down box under Quality, and then select the highest definition offered, in this case 720 HD. Enjoy the video. We're now going to take a look at the third screen under DTFL Pro, which is the deactivation criteria. So I'll open it here. As you can see, there's a number of different options. Firstly, I want to talk about some general rules for deactivation. The first one is that sometimes when you enter a PP line and you choose a time in the future for the lines to be drawn on the chart, price action can mean that the PP line can actually be invalid. I've got an example here. If you look at the screen, the grey area here is the Asian session. And let's assume that you've gone and looked at the daily market review, which is for where I live in London about 6 o'clock in the morning or just before. So it's around this time. And let's say sterling has given you a level here. You draw it in and then you set it in advance so that you want your software to start at, let's say, 7 in the morning when the European session starts. So you set all your PP levels up, you set them to be drawn on the screen and to be applied at not now, which was one of the options, but you've done it for a time in the future, about an hour in advance. So you're going to set it to be drawn on the screen at this time here, which is at 7 o'clock, to coincide with the open of the European session. So you've set it all up, you've set it to be drawn on the chart, including this line here, for about an hour in advance. You've gone off to work, and then it comes 7 o'clock, and at that time, when the EA goes to draw this line on the chart, it looks, and this what was an upper PP line when you entered it, by the time it comes to draw it on the chart, the price is actually above the line. So this was an upper PP line when you originally drew it, because this is the time you drew it here, so it was an upper PP line. You may have had others up here, and you may have lower PP lines down here. So when you entered it as an upper PP line, and when it goes to draw it on the chart, the EA says, hang on a minute, this is an upper PP line, but price is already above it. In which case, it's instructed to ignore this line, make it invalid, because you can't draw a upper PP line below current price. So at this time at 7 o'clock, it recognizes that the price is already above an upper PP line, so it would ignore that line and it will not draw it on the chart. You'll be aware of that it has noticed that it's an invalid PP line and ignored it. You will notice that because if you look in the terminal folder, if you click terminal here, the button up here, and then look in the experts tab, it'll be listed here that the PP line is invalid. It says PP line invalid, gives you the price that it was, and it says will not be used. If you see, well, why didn't my line get drawn that I drew at 6 o'clock? You have a look in this experts tab. You push terminal button, then you go to the expert tabs. You're looking here, it'll be an entry in here saying that the PP line was invalid and it will not be used. So you'll know that's why it's not been drawn. So that is the first instance where PP line could be deactivated. And the second general rule I want to make you aware of is that there can only ever be one PP line active at any one time. Let me just repeat that. There can only be one PP line active at any one time. So to give you an example of that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to find let's have a look at here. I'm going to find an actual example to show you. So I'm now going into the files of DTFL Pro, and you see there's this file here, BT screenshots, and this contains all the screenshots of every major event that's taken place. It's all every single event that is taken place that the EA carries out. It will take a screenshot of it and save it here. So that when I say any major event, it's when you set your PP levels, if there's a stop run occurred, a confirming candle occurred, if a pullback candle has occurred, if an entry's taken, if there's a partial close, if there's a full close, or if everything's been exited. All these events will be recorded here, and there's lots and lots and lots of different pictures. It keeps adding to this file. These are only very small little images each one, so you will have to do some maintenance at some time and go in and delete them. But I've got a couple of examples which I can show you. Just shut that down. The first one here is an example of a screenshot. It's taken some time ago. But what we've got here, you've got the Asian session here. Look, this is zoomed right in. This is it was only a range of 18 pips, so it looks like it's a big range, but it's only 18 pips from top to bottom, as you can see here, with a little bit here. This is the London session started, and a PP line had started, been drawn on here, starting at the London session. These things have actually not gone far enough to break through it. I don't know what the settings were. It may well have been 4 or 6 pips that it had to break through it. It's obviously not broken through the line at this stage. And then what's happened is it's come up, and then eventually here on this candle here, it's come down and it's broken through the PP level, as signified by the little red arrow here. So the PP line is broken. Originally it would have been blue in colour when it was originally put on the chart, and this screenshot has been taken as it's been activated and gone to green, as the probably quite a fast moving market by the looks of things just here, as a fast moving bar, a fast moving candle has broken through and created a stop run, so therefore it's gone to green. If you then look at the next image that was taken, you can see here this bar has continued down, and it's actually hit another PP line. So this must have been lower PP line 1, I would imagine. This is lower PP line 2. And as soon as this line has been activated, it automatically deactivates the previous line. Only one PP line can be active at any one time. It's impossible to have more than one PP line active at a time. So this one was active, but as soon as this one became active, it deactivated the previous line. So now this one becomes deactivated. And you can see this would have been originally blue in the last screenshot. Let me just bring that back up again. You see it's gone green. So it's gone from blue to green. It's been activated. And then as the price has continued down and broken through this second PP line, it's activated this one, which automatically deactivates the previous one, because only one line can be active, only one PPP line can be active at any one time. So these are the general rules. First of all is the invalid PP line, which I've explained that to you in the circumstance when that can occur. The second general rule is that only one PP line can be active at any one time. And the third general rule is that if a trade, either a market or pending order, is placed from a PP line, so there's been let's assume a PP line, there's been a stop run, there's been a confirming candle, and a market order or a pending order has been placed from that PP line. As soon as the order has been placed, whether it be market or pending order, that deletes that PP line. So it would have been blue in the set state, then it would have gone to green when the stop run had occurred, then there would have been a confirming candle, then a pullback, then an entry, and as soon as a pending or market order has been placed, that PP line would then be deactivated. So there's 3 general rules where PP lines either are not used or ways that they can be deactivated. So now they're general rules. Now let's go on to other deactivation criteria, which is shown on the screen here. The first one is an on-off. You can either choose it or not to choose it, which is the 2 bars open and close above a level. So I've got an example here. If we look at this PP line, which I've drawn in here, so this is the Asian session in grey. I've gone in and this line here is a PP level, and let's assume that the trading time started after Asia. What's happened is the price has come through here, through the PP level, and there's been 1, 2, open and closes above the level, that would automatically deactivate the level. This is the one that Sterling uses in his room all the time. If there's 2 open and closes above a level, then that level is deactivated. So remember, there's 3 states for a PP level. It's the blue state when it first appears on the chart. Then there's the green state when it's been activated, and then there's the red state when it's been deactivated. These lines I've drawn on the chart here aren't DTFL Pro lines. These are just lines I've put on here to sort of demonstrate and explain what these different functions mean. There's no actual PP lines being drawn on here by DTF Pro. It's not active at the moment. So first one, so quite easy. I'm sure you've seen it many times in the rooms. Is 2 bars open and close above or below the line. So when we're talking about an upper PP line, it must be 2 candles or 2 bars open and close above the line. When you're talking about a lower PP line, it must be 2 bars or 2 candles open and close below the line. And this is an option you can have on or off. You can decide to have it off, and that is the way that Sterling tends to, the general way that Sterling deactivates a line through price action. The second one, this is the one that Chad tends to use, which is 1 60-minute bar close above or below the line. So in this situation, what you're looking for, remember what we're representing really is an hourly chart candle. So the way in which Chad would deactivate a line is if a hourly candle closes above the line by a certain amount of pips. That's what you put in here. In this situation, we put 3. So if an hourly candle closed 3 pips above a PP line, then that would deactivate the level. So how you're going to look for that in a 15-minute chart is you're going to find the 45-minute to 00 candle. So if you look here, this one here, if you look at the bottom of the screen, this is this candle here is the 6 o'clock to 6:15 candle. This is the 6:15 to 6:30 candle. This is the 6:30 to 6:45 candle. And this is the 6:45 to 7 o'clock candle. So on the close of this candle, which is at that point there, that is the equivalent of when an hourly candle would close. So the deactivation criteria to deactivate a PP line in this example, if on this candle here, this is the 6:45 to 7 o'clock candle, when it closes, which is at 7 o'clock, so that would be an hour on the hourly close. If it is 3 pips above the line, there's the line, and in this situation it actually closed. Oops, try again. Actually closed 25 pips above the line. So it's well over 3 pips above the line. That would deactivate the PP line. Let's look at another one. Let's take this line here. So if we're looking for that's the 9 o'clock candle, the 9:15, the 9:30, the 9:45. So the candle closes there. It's just on this candle here, the little red one. Let's see, and the candle close. Is it above 3 pips above? Oh, it just might be. So that would, using this criteria for deactivating a PP line, it would just about do it there. In relation to the 2 opener bars, this line would be deactivated on this candle here. Whereas using this instruction here, it would deactivate on this bar, because that is the 9:45 to 10 o'clock candle. So the close of that candle will be, because it's red, it closes at the bottom of the candle here, and that is more than 3 pips above the level. It would deactivate it. Interestingly, if I just move that level had been there, say that PP line had been there, then in this situation, the 2 bars open and close above, so here's the price that had come up, created a stop run, but then 2 bars would have opened and closed above the line. So under this criteria, it would have deactivated the level. However, if that one had been deselected and just this one had been used, then the you're looking for the hourly close, so this is the 9:45. You look at the bottom here, you can see the time. This is the 9:45 to 10 o'clock candles on its close, which is just there. This closes at the bottom of the red body of the candle. That is actually above the PP line, but it's not 3 pips above. So actually, it would not be deactivated. So it would continue the stop run. After the stop, it would continue to look for a confirming candle. But it shows there are differences between the two. So it's your choice really which way you want to go, whether you want to use both of them or just use them individually, and whichever you prefer. There's merit to using both of them. I haven't got any particular preference, and you'll make your own decision about that. So that shows you under deactivation, first one, which is 2 open and closes above or below the line, and then the second one is the hourly close above or below the line. So when I'm talking above the line, we're talking about upper PP levels where things are closing above. If you're like talking about lower PP lines, then we're talking about candles closing below the line. The next way that a line can be, PP line can be deactivated, you can set a maximum amount of bars from a stop run to a confirming candle. The EA will look in this situation for a maximum of 8 bars after the stop run for the confirming candle. If after 8 bars a confirming candle has not occurred, then it will deactivate the line automatically. So let's just say, let's take an example here. Let's take this example here, this one. Let's just move that a bit. So let's say here, there's been a stop run of the level here, and under this criteria here, after the stop run, the EA will look for a maximum of 8 candles for a confirming candle to occur. So there's a stop run. So that's the first candle, that's the second candle, third candle, fourth candle, fifth candle, sixth candle, seventh candle, and the 8th candle. So on the close of that candle, which is there, if there has not been a confirming candle during that time, which is about 2 hours, 8 candles is 2 hours at the 15-minute time frame. If there hasn't been a confirming candle in that time, then it will automatically deactivate the level. You can obviously alter that to whatever you wish. Another way that the PP line will be deactivated is the maximum bars between the confirming candle and a pullback to entry, or a pullback candle. So let's assume in this situation here there's been a stop run. Let's say this was a confirming candle here, which is in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It's within 6 candles. So it's quite generous. 8 candles here is quite generous. So let's assume this is a confirming candle. The count would be 1, 2, 3, 4, and it looked to the close of this candle for a pullback. If it didn't pull back within that time, it will automatically deactivate the level, and it would no longer look for an entry. Both of these are quite generous actually. Some of the settings I've set up here is where I'm looking for trades to test things. So it may be that you wouldn't have these as wide as this in live trading, but as I say, it's a decision for you to make. So there you go, the stop run. After the stop run, if this was a stop run, it'll look for, in this circumstance, 8 bars. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, until the close of this candle. It will look for the confirming candle, and let's say there was a confirming candle here. After the confirming candle, it will look for, there's a confirming candle there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, up to 5 candles for a pullback to entry, for a pullback candle. So the safety pips past high low. This criteria is a deactivation criteria, but more easily explained when I get to the entry criteria. So I'll come back and I'll talk about safety pips past the high low, how that operates in relation to deactivating the PP line when I get to when explaining on the entry, which is this one here, the entry criteria, which is the next one. So for explanation on how safety pips pass the high low, how this input works, go to the entry criteria and I'll explain it there. And the last one, this is again an on off. All of these are on off, so you can select which ones you want, any combination you wish, all, none, or some of them. This one here, if you activate it, then as soon as the first trade has been taken, as soon as the first trade has been placed, then all other PP lines will be deactivated. So what this does is it limits the amount of trade you can take to one each day. Because you may be setting up 5 PP lines above the line, 5 PP lines below the line. In theory, each of those lines could have a trade taken on them. So you could have 10 trades in the day. Unlikely, but you could. And what this does, those people who want to control the amount of trades they're taking per day, if they tick this box, then as soon as the first trade is taken off a PP line, all the other lines will be deactivated. Therefore, you'll only ever take one trade per day. So it's a way of limiting your risk if you are unhappy in taking more than one trade a day, which is an option for people who want to manage their risk in this way or aren't comfortable about the potential of taking more than one trade in a day. If you tick this, after a trade has been taken, all other PP lines will automatically put to the deactivated state and no other trades will be taken until the start of the next operation, when you start a new operation. So that is everything described in relation to the deactivation criteria. The next screen I'll be describing is the entry criteria.